I love that intro music.
Woo, me too.
Still.
That all day.
Hello! Welcome to Lawfully Chaotic, Season 4, Episode 26. As with me always. With me, as always, are my partners in crime, Jason from TTRPG Academy, the storyteller himself, and Kristen from Kristen's
Hello.
Epic Adventures, the epic adventurer.
Ooh, what crime should we commit next?
That's okay. Brian took care of that with the crime of the English language. So he brutalized it. It's been slaughtered.
Language. So
yeah, it's been brutalized.
How you doing? Thanks for joining. And the Cookie Dungeon over on Instagram. Thank you guys for joining.
Ooh, I want some cookies.
Cookies are good. Thanks for joining us. If you are here in chat, thank you for watching after the fact. If that is what is indeed happening here right now as you watch, even though now will be in the past if you're watching VOD.
Oh, don't do the timey-wimey thing, man. That's just mean. Yeah.
Time machine. Hey, hi, welcome. How are you guys doing? What's up?
Great.
Good.
Oh, not bad. I was able to get a pretty big project done last week, so it was nice to have the time to be able to do projects, as they say.
Nice.
Yes.
I actually got a little bit of painting done today, just before the show, actually.
Very nice.
And this little fellow over here.
Oh, look at that.
This little tiny fellow over here.
Oh, I like it.
Starting here, and I finished this guy. I was doing some OSL work.
That guy came out awesome.
You know, thank you. It's really, I picked the wrong, it's too late now because, you know, I've got like 30 figures painted, but I picked the wrong fucking color for my army.
Pink?
It's really hard to capture on camera, especially OSL effects, but too late. I'm committed, so purple it is.
Oh, it's a purple.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it's purple because pink tends to show up more like purple, and purple tends to show up more like almost like a red.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
It's really weird.
So everything that I photograph, and I know just enough photography to be dangerous, but not enough to really be good. And you know, there's people like, well, yeah, but you do Photoshop work, and well, I do. And I can adjust things that way. But there's a saying with digital content or design content is garbage in, garbage out. So you can only do so much.
Yeah, the new term now is AI slop. That's the new term, AI slop.
Isn't that the stuff that we shovel into the vats to feed the AI? It's chopped up people, right? Soil and green, right? That's what the AI eats.
I mean, my pigs at the ranch eat slop, so I mean, maybe they're describing us as pigs that were eating the AI slop. I mean, I don't know what to say. Mind blown.
We've come
Not that there was much to blow up to begin with, but you know, there's a little bit of gray matter in there. What have you been up to, Kristen? What's going on?
Work, and more work.
Yeah.
Are you up to your eyeballs in Pokemon cards?
I am. I mean, for the record, it's my own fault, and I also choose to do about 55 hours a week because I'm a slut for the overtime money.
Hey, if it's available,
time and a half, give me that.
Yeah, that's not something to be squandered.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry. I think that's the smartest thing you can do when it's available.
Do as much
in my very younger years, you know, I used to drive a forklift and fill pallets with orders for school divisions and school departments. And I was 16 years old. I had all the energy in the world, and I worked like 12-hour days. And boy, I was in double time land, you know. And when you're making California that sweet double time, when you're in California making that sweet, like I was 16 years old. I was making $7 an hour when I was 16. That's almost 40 years ago. Right. Because I worked the night shift, and I think that's where I started that I like working nights. It was a lot of fun because I always felt like I was cheating on the world when I was available during the day when everybody else was working and I wasn't. But over time, you know, I was making over $10 an hour. and then that sweet double time, I was making almost $15 an hour. You know,
Sure.
and that's 40 years ago money, man. That's when gas was 89 cents a gallon.
Yep.
Bread, you know, came unsliced. You had to buy a slicer, so it was
Hey.
expensive.
More than
You
I make
know?
now.
Yeah.
But I had all the money in the world to buy all my D&D stuff and my, you know,
Sweet.
and all my stuff that, like an idiot, I got rid of because I didn't know what was going to happen.
Oh,
when I
the
took a
money we
break.
pissed
never
away
know.
on our hobbies.
Well, and what's
never
worse
know.
is what's worse is that they're all classic pieces that like I had every Citadel miniature and Grenadier miniature ever made. You know, I had every box set of every game ever made. You know, I had the original Gangbusters. I had the original, you know, Star Frontiers. I had the original this, the original that. All these games that you know when I got Paranoia for the first time, when I got the game Paranoia for the first time, you know, and it just, I look back on that now and I go, oh, wait a minute, I used to have an AT-AT in its original box in storage, and to this day I never knew what happened to it. Never had an inkling.
See,
what happened
you
to
give
it.
me shit, but a little bit of hoarder is a good thing.
A little
No, because if I
Yeah,
hadn't done all that, then I wouldn't be suffering this ailment of nostalgia, and I'd be a better person anyways.
As long as you're hoarding like collectible things and not just like old newspapers and paper.
No, that's what I mean. No,
And
like
hoard.
legit collectibles. I mean, you could say,
I guarantee you that
you could say
Brian has a garage filled with
Oh,
newspapers that are collated from like day to minute to
No,
second to
not
month
even
to
close.
year. Well, you're not going to admit it. That's the beauty about conspiracy.
Well,
I
think
can say whatever I want, and because you're not going to prove me wrong, I'm automatically right.
he did already admit to me once he does have some stuff at his parents' house.
Well,
But I'm sure it's not newspaper. I have stuff at my parents' house too.
That's the ultimate hoarding.
Containers.
Kristen, that's the ultimate hoarding when you leverage your parents to store your junk.
Well, I have
That's the
junk
ultimate
over
hoarder.
there too.
I do not.
I love it when we have tangent episodes. It's so much fun.
I do not go as far as to. I used to do shit like that, but you know, I mean, I got like I had so many old magazines, like White Dwarf magazines and Dragon magazines, all that shit I got rid of, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't do like the fucking newspaper thing and shit like that.
No, me neither.
I
still have Cabbage Patch Kids at my parents' house.
I am Gerald's swollen colon from Fight Club. From Fight Club. Remember when they find the? Remember where they stay on Soap Street in the abandoned house?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's all the shut-ins journals neatly stacked throughout the house.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. No, I'm not like Kevin Spacey, you know, from Seven level notebooks.
I see.
That's pretty funny.
My Cabbage Patch Kids are still at my mother's house.
See, there you go. But again, legit collectible item, right?
Supposedly, I don't know if mine. I don't know where the birth certificate is, and they're not in the box anymore. They've been very well played.
Oh my God!
I'm not sure if they would be worth anything.
Yeah, don't talk about your birth certificate. Next thing you don't ever admit you're from Canada. That's dangerous.
All right, change the subject fast. Nice.
I know where my birth certificate is. I'm talking about my Cabbage Patch Kids birth certificate.
Well, if you want to see your Cabbage Patch
with birth certificates, you know.
I would love to get my hands on an old Cabbage Patch birth certificate and pretend and just play it off as mine. Just like, you know, oh yeah, here it is right here.
Ooh, sweet.
Oh, you got Last Gasp too. Very nice.
What's Last Gasp? I don't know anything about that. Someone tell me.
That's one of the critical roles that they released. It was a 1v1 game where
it's like a card. Darrington publishing it.
That sounds cool.
The 1v1 and you fight each other to the very last gasp. So it was it was a play on words.
I got it.
Think of like D&D meets Dice Throne. If you're familiar with Dice Throne, it's like
right.
Yeah, awesome. I went to my local game shop
Ooh,
here and just to see, well, I took my son to get some Pokemon cards. Strangely,
fun. Are you gonna
Um,
have them graded?
not for $25 a pop. You guys fucking robbed me blind on that shit.
What? Hey, if you send in enough, you can put it under the bulk tier, and you can get a bulk rate, which is like cheaper than that, I think.
Yeah, you could send in 100.
No,
I get
you don't
charged.
need 100
I get charged
card.
$5 a card, so it's only
Here's the thing.
500 rather than
Since you
2,500.
brought
You
it
only
up,
need 25 cards for bulk, I think.
since you brought it up, the whole
Mhm.
CGC thing. So I've been
Oh,
collecting
geez.
comic
Oh
books.
God!
Yep, here we go.
I don't know much
I've been
about it. I
collecting
just
comic
looked
books
at
since
them.
about 19 mid 80s. I still remember my first book, and I still have it. It was Alpha Flight number
Cool.
26. Okay.
Nice.
So I've got a pretty decent collection. I've probably got a box of stuff that's worth anywhere from the 50 to 100, maybe 150 range. Probably closer to around 100. Small contingent, and then I've got a decent collection. I just rebagged and recatalogued everything, reboxed, boarded, and bagged.
Mhm.
So I spent about $400 on that shit, on nice plastic boxes, boards,
Mhm.
bags
Okay.
for this collection. And it made me realize, like, the whole CGC thing since they started, it's good and it's bad. All right. I like it because it sets a baseline, and now there's no subjectivity on what you might think is a 9.8 book and what I might think is a 9.8 book. But I think it's done personally, and I apologize to you.
You don't have to apologize to me. You're also just not going to get me to bash my employer on the internet.
I'm not looking
I'm
for
not
you to
gonna
bash your
fight for
employer.
the hand that
Absolutely not.
feeds me.
Absolutely
I
not.
love working there.
Hey, and I'm not.
I love my overlords. I bring them
What it does.
bowls of blood and dollar bills printed on cellophane wrappers.
And then graded and slabbed.
Graded and slapped.
What it has done is, so all of my books are now worth a fraction of what they should be worth, simply
I don't
because
know
they're
anything
not.
about comics. I can't.
Well, but it's the same as cards. Okay, they're worth a fraction. They're worth a
I
fraction
would
of what
argue
they
the
should
opposite.
be.
I don't think they're at all like cards at all.
I don't
okay,
even
They-
know
they're worth-
anything about the
They're
value
worth
of
a
these things.
fraction of what they should be worth, because they're not slabbed. And now, because of the way consumers
Can someone
are,
educate me? What does slabbed mean? I don't know what that
so
means.
Slabbed is this.
in the protective holder that
This
we
is
do.
a CGC slabbed comic book. All
Mhm.
right, you cannot open it. I've
In the
never read this in the
Holder.
plastic. If you want to read it, you go out and you buy another copy. It
Holdered
is
and slabbed means the same thing.
right. So it is
Well,
great.
wait, hold on a second. What was
Graded.
what was the first thing you said, Kristen?
Holdered and slabbed is
Holdered.
like the same thing.
Gotcha.
Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
been graded and then put in the protective plastic.
Right, and it is sealed. If it's opened, you ruin the value. It's there's a
In our
holographic
database. Mhm.
holographic CGC thing here. It's a 9.8. Nobody can now argue about the condition of this book, because it has been professionally
What's
graded.
the title of the book?
Yeah, what one is
It's-
that?
King Spawn. It's not. It's recent. It's not worth a ton.
That's cool.
Sounds boring.
All of these slabbed books I bought this way. Slabbed.
Himrel.
Slobbed.
Mhm.
Now I got to understand what slobbed means. So there's
Slabbed
molded,
is being bad.
slabbed, and slobbed.
My point is, my
Mhm.
whole collection of books is now worth a fraction of what those books are actually worth, because
Ones that
they're
are
simply not
unslabbed?
slabbed. Yes, my whole
Okay.
collection is unslabbed.
Okay.
I would have to spend thousands of dollars to do that. So any book that I have that is worth less than $100, you're talking $25 to slab it. You're slashing the value. It's just not worth it.
People still sell the raw stuff. They sell raw cards all the time.
Well, then maybe comic books are truly different,
Comic
because
books might be different. I
if
don't know.
it's not slabbed, it's worth about a third. of what it is.
Honestly,
so what it's done is it's everything before CGC started is now like at a severe disadvantage. So all of that collection that these people have from way long ago are worth much
because
less
comic
money.
books are just fucking boring and cards are more
I'm
interesting.
done with this
I don't know. I don't know.
I swear to God, he is a 7-triggered shotgun. He is so easy to trigger.
I don't even know anything about the value of them.
Neither do I. Like I don't
go. There's a scratch and there's a dent, and I'm gonna go with an 8.
He's flipping me off at the same time. I love it.
Did you show Jason my rant cam?
I heard. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
I saw the.
Now we all have one. Now we can all complain about shit.
The problem is Kristen never complains. She's like,
I know.
She's so much better than we are.
Well,
she is like legitimately better than we are.
Maybe I'll do a rainbow and unicorns cam.
Ooh, there we go. Yeah, whenever you guys rant and I try to calm you down, you can put up stop.
That would be perfect, but make sure the unicorn is. Just make sure the unicorn is pooping jelly beans and farting cotton candy. It's got to be inappropriate. I've never ever like gotten into the whole collection thing. Like I have been back collecting certain things from the 70s and 80s that I just want to have because I like to kind of just read the content and see what I could do with the content. But now recently I've been very into these humble bundle deals where you get like 10s, 20s, 30s, 40s of these groupings of classic modules and classic gaming content. And I'm a digital cowboy, man.
It's a charity. It's a charity.
Yeah. That's
nice.
and that's just an added benefit to it. I'm not nostalgic for those days. I'll never be a nostalgia person because I have a very different perspective on the 80s and 90s than probably most people. But I do like to try to get my hands on old content that I bring in, and I want to elevate up to either 5e or like I converted a first edition dungeon crawler to a Daggerheart 4-part series. And then
Here's
I ran
a question
table
for you.
Yeah.
Do you consider digital content collectible?
No, not at all.
Okay.
No, it doesn't make sense because anything in the digital space could be wiped out. Like,
okay.
Like
I just wanted to make sure we were at least on the same page there.
Yeah. No. I mean,
going to be the last lawfully chaotic.
If everybody didn't learn their lesson with NFTs, then you don't know how to learn lessons. So I mean, to me, digital is just the most convenient way for me to consume information because of the way I use the tools. And like, I can literally take a 1979 OSR crawler that's like 30 pages that's now in a PDF, and I can drop that into Chat GPT, and then I can start organizing how I want to convert it. So there's so much more value in utilization of digital content than of hard copy content.
I just wanted to make sure that you didn't consider digital.
No, not at all.
Now, an old floppy disk, that might be a collectible item.
Yeah, the floppy disk itself, yes. What's on it?
You're talking museum grade. Now you're moving into like museum. And
when is CTC going to start slapping and grading old floppy disks?
Right. I'll tell you, one of my favorite movies to watch is War Games. Because I love all the old computers in that where you have to put the phone, the receiver.
Oh yeah, the modem where you
dial-up modem.
Yep.
And the floppy disks and everything.
I love movies that show cultural transcendence. Like when you watch a movie and they never use a cell phone, or you watch a movie and they never use an ATM, or you watch a movie, they never use a tablet. Like I love watching movies that.
Right.
I think that's one of the reasons why Stranger Things was so popular, because it was devoted to the idea of a simpler time, and that's like the ultimate nostalgia buzzword.
I would love to be one of those people who double check, like gets all those little props together and like puts them all in there, you know?
Right.
Oh, yeah, the continuity manager.
Yeah.
I mean,
fun.
let's face it, the best season of Stranger Things was the mall, when they finally introduced the mall. I mean, talk about the blue pill, red pill. I mean, that was that anybody in their late 30s to early 40s, all the way up to your early 60s, has a very vivid thought or remembrance of what being at a mall was to them. That tactile feeling, the smell, the food court.
You know who does a really good job of that is Matt Dinneman in Dungeon Crawler Carl. So I'm on the 7th book, which is I don't know if he's ending it with 7 or if that's just the last one that he's written.
Oh man, if you're popular and you're a good writer,
quite frankly, I don't want to know. But he's really, there was one, like, he's mentioned. It's funny that you say the mall thing, because just I think it was either this book or the end of 6, where he was talking about a mall, and he mentioned like Walden Books and Spencer's and all the fucking stores from the mall.
Still technically around. There's a handful of those stores still in the malls.
Yeah, I loved Walden Books. We lost our Walden Books when Super Walmart came in to town.
There was Walden Books. There was Babbage's computer. We got all our computer games.
Maybe
CompUSA, baby.
I mean, CompUSA.
I mean,
nostalgia episode on Lawfully,
right? But what's really interesting,
down memory lane,
right? And what's funny is, like, all the things that those things used to do are a measure of our cultural interpretation of what we were doing at that given point in time. And I love integrating cultural thought and cultural remembrance into D&D games, because, like, when you have an entire table that is trapped in an 80s reference for session after session, it is absolutely so much fun to watch that play out. If you have a table that's trapped in anime reference, like, okay, I'm going to spill the ultimate beans right now. I am a huge K-pop person. I love K-pop. Demon Hunters, OMG. Loved that movie. Best thing that has ever happened to K-pop. Blackpink, love Blackpink. The boys are gorgeous. The boys are prettier than the girls. It's absolutely fascinating to watch that play out. Love it. And I'm a huge Korean film fanatic. Any film made in South Korea, I've got to watch it. They are just epic creators. They know what it means to be good storytellers and to be over the top, and just to be, you're here for the story, you're here for the adventure, you're here for this amazing, sensational bullshit story that you're ready just to have fun with. And they do it so well. And I kind of think I've been watching Korean films for the last probably 20, 25 years. And I think that's been a heavy influencer on me for running D&D games. I find that over the top story narration a lot of fun. They certainly did 3 Miles. That was the biggest mistake they've ever made. Yeah, I absolutely agree with that.
So where did you guys, when you were kids, did you buy all your gaming miniature stuff?
I didn't game when I was young.
I think Chris, because you're a recent gamer, actually, right, Chris? Aren't you? Like, found
like the last 10 years. Well, I had the red box starter set when I was, I don't know, maybe 12 or something. But
did it have crayon in it?
Did it have the crayon? It had the blue dice. You had to color in with the white crayon.
Yeah.
But I would sit there and pore over the books, not knowing really what any of it meant. I didn't have anybody who wanted to play.
But even that was fun, poring over those books.
It was.
I loved. I still do, obviously, but I loved buying. There were a ton of games that I bought just for the source books. I still remember I had West End Games, Star Wars source books, just for like all the ship info, the stuff that you never got from the movies. like, it had all the ship info for like a Star Destroyer, like the crew contingent and all this and the size and all this shit. And it was like, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
But
I went to hobby stores. I went to hobby stores.
Yeah, I got most of my stuff at the comic book store in the town where I grew up.
See, I didn't really get exposed to comic books until after high school and well into college, and even then, it never really appealed to me. Like, I remember I was told by my friend, wherever I went, if there was a Spawn issue #1 in a bag with the collector card, make sure I buy one. I go, okay, sounds great.
I don't have the bag collector card, but I do have a couple copies of Spawn.
That's the only comic book I have. That's the only thing I've ever saved because I don't know how it followed me. I think it ended up in one of my Rubbermaid totes with all my bills and paperwork that just kind of follows you as you move through life. I don't know. It's so weird.
It's sitting somewhere with that AT-AT in the box.
Oh, no. It's sitting right down here with my blue tote. Okay. Because when I went to clean out some of my boxes, I was like, oh, what's this? Okay, whatever. Tossed it in there. Well, the Image doesn't really exist like it did when that was released. It turns out that they published like 250 million copies of that book. It's essentially worthless as a collector's item.
No. Well, again, slabbed or unslabbed conversation aside, that one's actually worth something. But getting back to the question, so that comic book shop, it still exists actually, and now they've got like a bunch of locations. But now it's just comic books. Back then, yeah, right.
That's pretty rare.
Yeah, but back then, it also sold, role playing game stuff and miniatures and stuff like that. So I remember riding my bike, downtown to get stuff.
Kids on bikes.
Yep.
I used to collect. I did collect stuff. Wasn't into gaming and whatnot. I had a collection of little porcelain kitties and figurines, and I used to collect carousel horses.
Oh,
and both of those collections are still at my mother's house.
See, that's a proper collector right there.
They still exist. They're taking out with me.
I love it. I love it. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. We did get rid of all the toys though, like all my original Star Wars toys. Those we got rid of. We had a huge G.I. Joe action figure collection. Yep. Got rid of that.
I don't think I have my Barbies anymore. My cousin had a huge Matchbox collection. I used to play with his Matchbox cars all the time.
Same, yeah. So all of the toys, unfortunately, we got rid of because that Star Wars stuff would be worth something. But now I have all the new Star Wars stuff that came out in like '99 when Phantom Menace came out, and it's not worth.
This weekend in town, we have a little retro toy convention thing going on that I
really
go to. Yeah,
that's cool.
It's small. It's not. I don't.
It's some good stuff. I found when I was in Vancouver a couple of years ago. I found this a collectible shop, and we went in there, and that guy. It was a pretty big shop. That guy had some pretty impressive shit in there, like stuff that I had not seen for 40 some odd years.
Nice. Now I think collecting is
the interactive $1 Million Man. You remember that?
Yes, where you look through his eye and go.
Oh, interesting. I did not have that. I did not have that toy. Yep. I think collecting as a little kid is interesting because you don't really have your own source of income unless you have like a paper route or you're doing chores or whatever. And you had to really work your butt off to get things. Now, as an adult with a paycheck, you're like, I should pay my electric bill, but I really want to get these things.
You're right.
And it's like, or I'll just put it on my credit card and pay for it later. I don't do that. Though. I don't do that now.
I do. And that's so funny because
I know you do. You bring your card to Kickstarter.
It does take some of the magic out of it when you're like, oh, I got a collection. I'll just buy the next thing.
You can just buy it all right now.
You get it, and it goes on your shelf, and you're like, oh, now I need the next one. And you just buy it. You know what I mean? It's like
you didn't have to wash like 25 cars and deliver papers for 6 months to save up for something.
Yeah.
Very
It's also
true.
it's also because as a kid you open shit and you read it or play with it or beat the fuck out of it. You know what I mean? And
True.
then
True.
it's like, oh, I got the $6 million
Now, we
man,
just
but
take it, like you said, and put it on a shelf.
Yeah.
Don't touch
Yeah.
that. I paid a lot of money for that. Don't touch that.
And then you gotta buy two of everything, one to keep in the package and one to open, and
Right.
See, when you talk about it in that way, it reminds me of 40-Year-Old Virgin when he finally sells his collection.
Exactly.
Right. But what was always funny about that is that if you took the valuation of what he spent at the moment of buying those things and invested it into like a money market fund or something like that, it would be out of this world. You would have made so much more money. But the one thing that I think I find interesting about collecting, I think mental health is good. With some of that, I think it helps people identify with things that make them feel good. It helps them share with other people. Like I know I give Brian a lot of shit about his collections and buying this and his slabs and all that. That's mostly because it makes me feel good to see him triggered. Right? I mean,
we know that. We can all tell that.
But I mean, from a mental health perspective, as long as it's a well-balanced choice that you're making, I think, collecting items has a way of, making you feel good about yourself and what you do. Now,
and you get the community that collects with you. And
and I think you become a hoarder when collecting is the only way you get your endorphins. You know what I mean? Like
you get a nice dopamine hit when you buy something.
Yeah. Like it's so bizarre. I don't know if you see these on YouTube, but there's a guy who has a YouTube channel, and his whole YouTube channel is the 10 things you have to buy at Costco now.
Nice.
His whole channel is about that. I'm just
funny because if I go,
I immediately get out my credit card and I'm doing my cocaine and mainlining my heroin. I'm like, oh yeah, let's go. I'm all ramped up.
If I go more than 2 weeks without an Amazon package showing up, I literally start to go through withdrawal, and I'm like, what could I? And it doesn't even have.
I went 2 weeks without it showing up.
Did you? I did. It doesn't even have to be collectible. It could be a fucking USB cable, as long as the package shows up at my door. So yeah, there are times that I actually am like, I'm just buying stuff just for the joy of a package showing up at the door, opening it up. It's sometimes it's
the excitement of my dice finally arriving.
Oh, don't go down there.
You had to go there.
Don't go there. Now I enjoy. Who doesn't enjoy shopping?
I don't even have the energy tonight. I'm not going to touch it tonight.
Right? Energy. Like I would enjoy like a good shopping trip.
Yeah.
But but lately, I don't know. I just don't even want to go out shopping anymore. I just want it all brought to me. So that's why I just order stuff on Amazon. I'm talking about even like for girls sometimes, or for myself anyways, sometimes it's fun if you need to make a trip to Walgreens or CVS and new shampoo, because you can also look at all the makeup and maybe you get a new nail color and all the pretty clips for your hair or something. And now I'm like, I can't be bothered to run down to friggin' Walmart or CVS or something. I'm just going to order that shit on Amazon.
They've made it too convenient. 3 miles. Are you serious? I'm gonna wait. We're gonna wait until you respond. Send me the link to that video, please.
Hey, maybe they bought them at Gen Con. Perhaps I told you they had a booth at Gen Con.
They bought them from somewhere.
They probably have a booth at PAX Unplugged. Maybe
I told you I'm getting all of my. It's like I'm an attorney preparing a brief or something. Getting all my ammo together so I can do these posts with no. Pause.
The trouble is, what's the fine print though on Kickstarter? Does the fine print in Kickstarter say as long as they don't close?
I told you.
They don't.
I told you.
Is it like there's risk with it?
You guys drag me into this shit every fucking episode.
All right, let's change the subject then.
I want to answer your question without ranting. Okay. Well, no, that's a lie. I'm gonna find it. I explained to you. Kickstarter, it's an inherent risk, okay? And you're
Wild West, baby. Wild West.
I know that risk, all right? It's not it's not the fact that they had all these production problems. That's not the main fact. It is a fact because they obviously can't manage a fucking project. Okay.
Right. Okay.
It's the optics and the way they've acted throughout this whole thing. And by optics, I mean selling shit on Amazon, selling shit on their own website, selling shit at Gen Con to people, at discounts, even sales to people that did not back, and the backers still don't have their stuff.
I'm wondering how many Labubu's Brian has.
What the fuck is a Labubu?
When I first heard about Labubu's, I said the same thing. I know now. Yes, those little monster things. Yes, but I did not know what they were.
How everything pisses me off. Thanks a lot, Jason Kristen. No, but I'm serious. These guys, it's the optics of it, and it is such a fucking.
I would be just as upset as you are. Trust me.
Yeah,
I would be just.
They collected that money, and after a year or two, they said, "You know what? This just isn't working."
It's unethical.
I'd still be pissed, but whatever. This is just
Kickstarter. I mean, Kickstarter in its own right is definitely a playground, a lottery playground, because you get to see if somebody knows how to really put together a campaign. Like if you went and looked at the Sanderson Cosmere campaign, oh my God, it was gorgeous. The page was gorgeous. The artwork was gorgeous. The videos.
You're going to say that you can put up a good campaign, collect money, and then skip out.
I mean, you could, but I mean, that's not my.
People generally don't do that in Kickstarter, okay?
But that's not my main point. My main point is that
Kickstarters that I've backed, they are the only fucking ones that I have never got my shit from.
I agree with you, but that's not my main point. My main point is Kickstarter is a Las Vegas playground that inherently reminds you every time about your risk, right? It's all about, they want to convince you it's safe, but they want to show you this gorgeous place that you get to play in and look at all these interesting creators and get a chance to look at all this stuff in such a way that you feel like you're making a choice that you're in control of, which you're kind of not really, because you're buying.
But what is your point?
Wait.
Maybe they should be booted off of
Pixel dice.
Should they be booted off of Kickstarter if they're
absolutely.
Does Kickstarter do that?
I don't know. I've never run a campaign as of yet.
Did you ever complain about a campaign?
Yeah, well, maybe you should contact the Kickstarter people, and so that they can't do it again to somebody else.
He's like, God damn it.
No, great. So I can spend more of my time and effort to follow up on these fucking douchebags that haven't sent me the other day.
For your mental health, you can let it go.
You know what else I can do?
You can forgive yourself for making the mistake, Brian.
I can find where this guy lives, and I could take a giant fucking steaming shit on his front door. That I could do that too.
You would get arrested for that. You can't do that.
Not if I did it at night.
Now you just put proof on the internet that it was you. I really do want you to heal from this trauma.
You want to know what's really funny? And again, you guys did this. This is not my fault. You know what's really funny?
How did I get lumped into this?
I was actually looking at the fuck off pixels up in the corner when I was doing the overlay before the show. I swear to God. And I'm like, I wonder if that's old and I should take it down.
I think you should.
Oh,
no, apparently not, because it's still ongoing and you still fucking do it.
But it's still true.
Brian pulled all the tags off his Beanie Babies. I love that.
I ate my Beanie Babies. I devoured them.
I'm gonna try to contact them for you.
Oh, that's so awesome.
If
you catch more flies with honey than with vinegar.
Yeah, that's why women are so much more
not with these guys.
Callista does the same thing. Callista is so much better at it than I am.
Go look on that campaign and look at the fucking comments. People have been reaching out for ages. No.
Through what? Just through the Kickstarter page or through their actual campaign.
No, you can do comments on.
Yeah, I know you can, but
I have emailed the guy. Very polite.
get no response, or you get a polite response back saying we're still waiting?
I didn't get shit.
There's gonna be a way to find.
Hey, GameWithPixels.com is having a flash sale right now.
Yeah, a tariff sale. You know what they did in their last
update? Jason, stop it!
You know what they did in their last update? What they said? He was fucking whining about the tariffs. And then he puts a fucking tariff sale on his website?
Chris is like, Jason, you're evil.
You're making his blood pressure go up, and he's going to have a heart attack.
Oh, my God.
In through the nose.
I'm leaving this up here.
Oh my God. So much fun. I was so mad that I missed last Thursday. You guys reviewed the starter set, which was awesome. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to get my copy of the starter set. I'm super excited.
I'm debating on whether or not
I'm not buying it.
I can't decide if I was going to get it to like open it and go through it on a YouTube, but like all these influencers get it like a week ahead of time and they're already all putting out videos. So
I know.
Yeah, I'm not.
I don't know if I want to waste the $50 to have people be like, I already watched that from somebody.
Hey, what's that Bob the World Builder? What's that guy's channel? Is it Bob?
I think it's Bob the World Builder.
Is it Bob the World Builder? Or is it just Bob?
So.
I think it's Bob the World Builder. He
so.
put out a
Wendy's place where you can get hamburgers.
He put out a really interesting video on the licensing for Daggerheart, on the open license for Daggerheart.
Yeah.
He really did his homework, and he went out there and he went out there and he realized that Drive Through RPG and all these places that like Cobalt Press, like all these places that are like typically a third-party hosting for third-party content.
Sure.
There's not really much stuff out there for Daggerheart. Like there was this huge expectation that with
writing it, I think.
Well,
some people
no, I think there was this expectation that the license was going to be a lot easier to deal with. And I spent an entire day reading the license, and it's not great. It's not very good.
I'm pretty sure Mike Underwood said he's working on some stuff. I like him a lot, and I like his channel, and I think he's working on some stuff.
I don't really treat him as a third-party creator. Like to me, a third-party creator is somebody who has absolutely no in on the origination of something, but they really fell in love with it and they want to create content to help other people fall in love with it. Well, Mike Underwood's an original creator, so I don't really kind of like put him in that same group. But I was really kind of expecting to get inundated with all these third-party creators and all these third-party.
Well, why don't we write some stuff? Let's do it then.
I don't know, because after I reviewed the license and tried to understand how to utilize the license, it sounds really confusing. I was trying to approach it as, instead of worrying about ever making the reference to the Daggerheart name and trying to understand what all you need to incorporate in either a cover sheet or the inside cover or the back cover, which logo to use, and like all these rules and regulations that they put on whether or not you can use their content. Yeah. I couldn't really find much on the content licensing of Hope and Fear. So, it kind of got me thinking, well, why don't you just, use the Hope and Fear reference as a way to kind of bundle your third party solution to their licensing requirements? Because because everything, the whole licensing kind of circles around whether or not you're calling it,
you have content. To call it Daggerheart compatible. I think. It's
even worse than that. They actually have copy paste lines that you copy and paste out of the license that you have to then put on the cover of the book.
Why is that such a bad thing?
Because I was expecting something a little bit more streamlined.
Now, granted, I haven't read it, but
you have an opinion.
This is America, buddy. I got an opinion on everything.
I haven't read it or studied it or looked at it.
I have an opinion.
All right, let's hear Brian's opinion.
No, I like my understanding was that it was supposed to be a lot easier to use.
Like easier than the WotC kerfuffle,
exactly.
Right. They were going to make it be like, don't worry.
I think you're making it more complicated than it needs to be.
No, I read it. I literally sat down and read the whole thing because I really wanted to understand what it takes.
No, well,
to
then
do it because
then I'm going to table this. I'm going to table my part of this discussion till I read the OS.
Oh, I want to go read it too. I'm going to read it too then.
And I'll give you
now. Everybody.
No, I don't want to read it.
No, I don't want to do that. I've already read it.
I've been grading Pokemon cards all day. I don't want to read.
Well, no, the reason why I was very enamored with the idea of hoping that it was simplified and streamlined, and because the Daggerheart webpage has the Void. It has this community-centric feeling. I mean, you can go onto Beacon, and there's a whole society of Daggerheart people on Beacon. It just feels very community kind of driven. So you kind of get that mindset that, oh, cool, this is community-driven. Maybe
we're going to be able to write whatever we want. The
other thing that they did is they didn't really release any third-party, or they didn't really release any secondary content. And they haven't really the evil twins from WotC that now works for Darrington. I mean, they've got a whole release schedule in mind for what they think they want to release for Daggerheart, but it just felt like an open playing field because there was just so little content for people to actually go out and find that it felt like
only been in people's hands for a month.
True.
No, it's been in people's hands for over a year.
Not if you
no. When I say people's hands, I mean the average person, not reviewers or YouTubers or shit. I mean, people have had the game. The average person's had the game.
I agree, but it's been
running games of it at last year's Gen Con to test test it.
The average person does not go into.
The average person doesn't write third-party contracts, so it's been in the hands of the people that do write it. It's been in those people's hands for well over a year. They have plenty of ideas.
Why, as a content creator, would I create something for a game that people haven't had enough time to immerse themselves into and determine if it's popular or not, when I could write something for D&D and I know people will accept it?
Because it's got the Critical Role label on it. You want to be the first one.
I just thought of a great opportunity for some legal people out there. Why doesn't someone ought to specialize in tell me what you want to write? I'll go read their gaming license and I'll tell you if it's okay. You know what I mean? Like lawyers that are going to
trademark attorney
gaming.
Yeah.
Actually,
my point is like give it a little bit,
Kristen, because there's a YouTube channel called The Rules Lawyer.
Okay.
The kid that runs that channel is a lawyer.
Oh, there we go. Well, why don't we just ask him? We'll go to his channel and we'll post some comments and be like,
he's a big Pathfinder fan. He's a huge anti-WotC person because. Okay.
Well, we'll ask him to read the Daggerheart one.
He may already have. I don't know. I've got to go look at his channel. He may already have.
I'm just saying. I think it's acceptable for a brand new book.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's acceptable for a brand new game to come out and to not see third-party content for the first 6 months. Now, if it's if it's going on a year and there's nothing, and past a year, then that is an issue.
Yeah, and I
actually
the game has been.
Sorry, go ahead, Kristen.
Talking about like legal and like gaming licenses and intellectual property. Right before I got on the stream here, I watched Todd Kenrick's most recent video. I love Todd.
Yeah.
And he just did a review of what they just put on the Void today. I don't know if they put it on the Void today. I think they put it on the Void today because he was looking through it. They have reskinned a bunch of classic monsters. There is a beholder in there that is now called something else beside a beholder, but it says it's like a floating thing with eye stalks.
No, you're right. It's called Adversaries and Environments 1.5. Yep.
So, and they put like red caps are in there.
Yeah.
And beholders are in there, but they call them something else. But the description of it is the exact same thing as a D&D beholder. In fact, one of its abilities, Todd was saying, is really kind of funny, and I agreed with him, that
One
of its psychic.
You're talking about the gobstocker. They call it a
gobstocker.
I love it.
Beholder.
Actually, that's a better name than Beholder.
Right. So one of its abilities, though, because it does like psychic harm, makes the characters trade character sheets with each other. As like a psychic type of attack, everybody has to.
And that's really funny.
It's like a Freaky Friday ability.
Yeah.
That's funny because there was there was a special one shot or a Critical Role one shot or Critical Role episode.
I think I remember that.
Where they had to everybody's character sheet rotated one to the right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome.
Every round.
Yeah, it really says to like collect all the character sheets and mix them all up and pass them back out. But it's interesting because you think of a Beholder as like a D&D, maybe their intellectual property. I don't know. Their license says probably that you can't call something a Beholder. Maybe I don't know.
Of course,
yeah. No, you can't actually. I do know that.
Took the exact same thing and just gave it a different name, but like the description. So it's funny because that what they put on the Void today is a bunch of classic monsters. I guess it was supposed to be one that was like Godzilla, but there's some classic D&D monsters in there, and they're all just like reskinned for Daggerheart. I thought it was hilarious. I loved it.
Yeah, I'm looking at them right now.
I think those OSLs, and people are going to argue with me, but whatever. I don't give a fuck. I think those OSLs exist to really keep people from surpassing a certain threshold and making like a fuck ton of money off of somebody else's IP.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, of course.
When all they're saying is you can't use the word Beholder, but you can create a creature that looks exactly the same as long as you call it something else.
In general, any legalese is going to be convoluted and hard to understand. That's just the nature of legalese.
It is a hard document to try to figure out.
So rather than picking through, like what word can I put in my content, I think, again, as long as you're not being fucking blatant about it, or you're not, or you don't have a $500,000 a year business, selling content for somebody else's game without any kind of a legitimate agreement.
I mean, copyright law and intellectual property law is very tricky.
I know.
What is it? Even in music, they say as long as you change a note every 5 or 6 or some notes, they can't.
And there's a musician out there who says that 90% of all music shares one common note.
Right.
It's like, okay, how does that work?
Well, that was like when
I have a whole ear for music.
That was like when Vanilla Ice ripped. Who's awesome. I'm not ripping on him because he's
what about Milli Vanilli? I love that.
Yeah,
that was a blatant rip up. No, but Vanilla Ice sampled Queen, and somebody interviewed him. I remember this. This is like decades ago, but he's like, "Well, yeah, Queen was like dun 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 dun. I did dun 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 ching dun 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 dun." And that was the discussion.
You only have to change it every so many notes, and it's
it's legal, baby.
Yeah. So
anyway, all a matter of pushing the boundaries.
Daggerheart OSL.
I guess the main reason why I brought it up because Bob did have a good point, and that was, there's this huge amount of clout and popularity just because something's Critical Role, and I think that sets up a very kind of false expectation about things, and they kind of set the standard for the art, right? Like, as their show gained traction in that early first year, people would do just thousands of pages of artwork to kind of coincide with their story to give it feel and to give it anima and to give it this feeling that they were personally involved.
What? To give it an anima? Is that what you said?
I think that's what he said.
Anima, which is short for animation, the idea of giving it animus.
Oh,
that's yeah. So unlike Brian,
animas plural. How many animas are we getting?
Brian, show us your word a day calendar.
Hold on, it's written on my underpants.
But no, I think there was this false expectation that there would just be treasure troves of content because Critical Role is so popular, and I think it just reminds us there's still just a company. There's still just. The Critical Role side is the entertainment side, and Darrington Press is the game side. And it's just people have to come to terms that they hit their 10-year mark and beyond. And they say with all businesses, if you outlive that 10th year, you're going to pretty much be successful. I mean, that's a general rule, right? And I think people are just a little too nostalgic for when they were all around a table and people were ordering them. Like I don't remember if you ever watched their early stuff, but people would like literally order them sushi online and they would open the door for the food delivery on camera, sit and eat and like, oh my God, thank you for the sushi. I mean, that was pretty cool. That really made people feel like they were part of the adventure and part of the team and part of the table. And I don't think that feeling's really there anymore because it's grown up. It's moved on. It's become something else. It's, it's evolved.
Yeah, but to give them the benefit of the doubt, I mean, obviously I'm biased, but it is still at its core run by good people.
Of course.
And one thing that they've always been very cognizant of and careful of is acknowledging creators and what they've contributed. And
they're voice actors, right? Like, so voice actors you never see.
Yeah, they're entertainers.
And now everybody knows who they are. I mean, I knew who Ashley was because I was like, when I first started watching, I'm like, why does she look so familiar? She looks really familiar until I figured out Growing Pains.
Oh, Growing Pains.
She was a little kid on Growing Pains. So little kid.
Well, that's how her and how her and Taliesin became such good friends because they were both child actors. He did Mr. Mom, and she was doing Growing Pains. So, when you're
other than that, I looked at everybody at the table, and I'm like, I have no idea who any of these people are because they're voicing video games and anime. And stuff.
Way back for Matt Mercer, like if you go back before Critical Role got popular, before they really were gung ho. I mean, he was a B grade actor and an A grade voice actor. He was in these bizarre D&D themed fantasy movies where he was playing these over the top villains, but he was also this amazing translation voice dubbing actor. And this, they all got their, Sam Riegel's famous because he married a rich director. He's not really famous for anything else. Critical Role made him famous because he's funny and likable.
Yeah, but he's also, I mean, I also know that, but isn't he he's a director of like DuckTales.
Yeah, I mean,
he has something to do with DuckTales that made him like pretty
all that
in the industry. Everybody knows who he is. I think his wife's a cinematographer.
Yes. Well, no, she's now elevated to a director.
Oh,
yeah. And she's a big time director. Like she's wanted for major films, and she's also an excellent writer. So I think in general there's the image of what we had of them from year one, and then they've become something else by the end of their journey of where they currently are. The only time I've ever been gun shy about their decision-making process is when they hired the Evil Twins. Had they never hired the Evil Twins, I would not have blinked once or twice.
All I'll say is that for me, the jury is still out on them. I got to see what they deliver.
It doesn't matter what they do.
I know you hate them because
I hate them because they're cowards. I hate them because they're simps. I hate them because they really only care about the money. So when they talk about community, they're lying. Because if they really cared about us, if they really thought we were important, they would have stood up for their employees and they would have fought back, sacrificed their careers for what they believe and what they loved. And they didn't. They took the cowardly way out.
Maybe they did. And then they said, look, we're either going to fire you or you can take this early retirement. And they went, okay, I'll take the early retirement.
That's cowardly too.
Well, I don't know what I would do if I was in that situation.
I would have easily burned all the bridges and moved on. I've burned bridges before. It's not that hard. It's not that hard to actually have a morality. It's not that hard to realize when you're being subjugated by people that don't actually like you. Because when you sit inside that orientation chamber and they try to tell you you're like family and they treat you like shit for 15, 20 years, you'd be really surprised at what you're capable of doing, what you're capable of accomplishing as a person. I got my empathy.
No matter how upset I was, I don't think I could ever tell my boss to fuck off and walk out the door. I think.
Oh my God, I've dreamed of being in the proper place and time in a job to be able to do that.
So,
kidding me?
So when I got laid off from C&B back in 2019, I show up to work, and I knew this day was coming because when there's a major merger, you know it's a ticking time bomb. You know it's coming, right? That's what major mergers are for. So when C&B was bought out by RBC and we started learning about who signed what contract, it was like, cool, 3, 4, 5 years, probably all that we really have left. And turned out to be right, because I believe the merger was in 2015 and then they dropped the hammer in 2019. So I was expecting it, and I hung out for the severance. I'm not going to lie. I hung out for the severance. But I did have an enjoyable time discussing with the people laying me off just how horrible they were, what horrible people they were, how they purposely mistreated our Indian employees and how racially bad they were treated, how they treated female employees like they were half a person. I let them know, since I was on my way out, and I knew I was never going to go back into the banking industry, because the banking industry is a horrible place and you should never work there under any circumstance.
I don't intend to. Don't worry.
Yeah. So I got an opportunity finally to tell these individuals what I really thought about them and all the mistakes they were making, what they were doing. And the mistake that they were making that day was getting rid of people that they felt that, were paid at a certain level to meet a certain margin of reduction. It didn't really matter who they were letting go. And what's funny is 2 years later, 3 years later, I have a conversation with somebody that used to be there. Everybody that I ever worked with is now gone. They are all gone. They're all gone. Like one big happy family, we were tossed out with the bathwater. And
telling someone off in a situation like that is so much nutrition for your mental health. It's unbelievable.
I never felt better in my life.
Yeah.
Never felt better.
I think it depends on who you are. You know what I mean? Like, you guys might enjoy something like that, but I don't think I would get a big mental health satisfaction out of that. I think I would get more mental health satisfaction out of walking out and just not saying anything and being like, you're not even worth my words. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but words have value.
Yeah, but that's all well and good. And I'm not saying you're right. We all deal with things differently, but
exactly.
That's all well and good. But people like that treat people like shit, they need to hear how shitty they are. Otherwise, and it probably goes in one ear and out the other.
Exactly. And they'll meet their maker one day, and
not hearing it never puts the idea in their mind that maybe it is something that they need to work on. And you know what?
I don't think
it doesn't matter what they think. The effect is on you and what you think of yourself as a person.
Well, yeah, but I would get just as much satisfaction as just walking out on my own.
I'd pull a Jerry Maguire, because if you're, when you're abused enough for long enough, you gotta just,
All right. Well, but perhaps I have never worked in such an abusive employment situation.
And I'm glad.
And good for you.
Glad. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I think it's amazing that people can find happiness and joy in working with a company that truly loves them and truly values them, their journey, values their contribution. And I think they get an excellent person like you from doing that. They could have had an excellent person like me for life had they done the same thing.
There's no such thing. There's no such thing as a company like that in the advertising agency world.
Well, Mad Men definitely taught me everything I needed to know about the advertising world, because everything on TV is true.
Of course.
On that note, it's been over an hour. We did it again. I think
a little bit late, so
Yeah, I will. Let me just close out by saying one last thing.
Oh, here it comes.
Rat cat.
Is that what you wanted to say?
Yeah, that was it. Anyway, so thank you for joining us. This was a weird episode. This was truly just stream of consciousness.
You know what? August is over. Summer's over. Fall. It's just that kind of.
It's interesting.
And I'll have to be honest with you. I went out there to look at any like new stuff that might have been available for the Gamescape. It's pretty dull out there right now. There's not really.
I know. Maybe next week. I know we're not supposed to plan, but maybe next week we do something just really basic and like maybe the show and tell that I mentioned, or we just talk about something more banal.
You know what?
Minis.
I love the show and tell idea. I think we should all pick one thing in our, and we bring it and we show it and we tell the story about it.
Does it have to be game related?
I don't know. What do you think? What do you think, Brian?
Related, game adjacent. How about game related or adjacent?
Board game or TTRPG?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be one thing.
Okay. Like we'll do a little show and tell, like we're on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. I like it.
I will be only bringing one thing. You guys can bring multiple things, but I already have an
entire collection.
It depends on how many cool things I find.
Oh, see, there's the truth of it.
I'm going to bring my collection of collections. Wait, what'd you say, Kristen?
I said it depends on how many cool things I find around here.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure I got a lot of cool things.
You know when you have like an inventory system?
I gotta show them this.
You know when you have an inventory system in a game, like you have boxes, and then you can put a box in a box. I'm going to bring my collection of collections.
Do me a huge favor, starting the next episode. Whatever you're wearing or whatever you're showing or whatever is going on, have like the little CGC hologram on it, just for fun.
So I can be a collectible.
I take my opinion on CJC. Now, if you put if you tape a pixel die to your forehead, I'll come to Florida and we're gonna have work.
I'm gonna contact them for you.
You know what I'm gonna do tomorrow? I'm gonna go on Amazon. I'm gonna order a set of pixel dice.
Good.
Don't
waste your money on them. And then if that happens, we are definitely getting a divorce. So
send them to him for Christmas, for Hanukkah.
Well, that would be like double indemnity right there. I just send it to him, directly, and I'll pretend to be pixel dice. I'll put in like original pixel dice.
Oh God!
I'll put in like this big sappy romantic letter. We are so sorry, Brian.
Yeah, make sure it's really fucking whiny and just.
And it's gonna be a printed check, a reimbursement check, but because it's been so many years, it's gonna be it'll be in adjusted dollars. Okay. So it'll be like
$7 maybe not.
Adjusted.
No, it'll be like here's your money back minus the tariff. So here's your $5.
And in 1970s dollars. And by the way, here's a piece of a D20 that we found in the back room that somebody rolled over with their fucking task chair. You can have that. Go fuck yourself. Anyway.
Brian, where can we find you?
You can find me at RPG and Co on Instagram and various other places, or Play RPG and Co on certain other places. One of the two. But check out playrpgandco.com. A lot of cool stuff there, and shoot me a DM on Instagram. I always love chatting about name bullshit. Kristen, what about you?
You can find me at Kristen's Epic Adventures on both YouTube and TikTok, while TikTok lasts.
Yeah, while it lasts. There's a whole right there. You can find me at ttrpgacademy.life, or you can go over to Linktree and look me up there, TTRPG Academy, or you can head over to YouTube and find me over at TTRPG Academy. I love to talk about all things gaming, so we have a fun Discord, and hit me up. I love conversations where I'm usually always wrong. Those are my best conversations.
Interesting, because I'm usually always right. That's kind of funny.
That's weird.
Hey, Bri, tell a story.
Play a game, Jason.
And be kind.
Bye, everybody. Thank you for joining us.